Pika Pika. Are you a Pokemon fan? I hope so. We're big Pokemon people at my house. My daughter has lost her mind with all the Pokemon things that have happened this summer. Okay, so this is a midweek check-in. So here's what I like to do, other than show you my cute Pikachu ears. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example of good student writing. I'm going to talk through what I like about it, what can be improved, and then I'll leave you with a little bit of encouragement, and that's it. That's all that's going on. Make sure that you know that you need to have your discussion board submitted before 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. Okay? So here's discussion board number 1. I'm going to talk through it, and we'll kind of highlight different things here and there, make sure that you know what it is that I like. Okay. 3 sources and texts from the Native American oral literature age demonstrate the differences between Native Americans and Europeans, the difference in religions, and land ownership. Frankly, nothing from these texts and resources was new to me, so it reinforced my perspective of Native American history and colonization. Good. And that's one of the key things that you were asked to do, was address whether or not it reinforced the way that you look at Native American history or if it changed it. And then I like that this student goes into a little bit more detail here. I would say prior to this year, I would have been surprised to some extent to false pretenses that America wasn't founded on the escape of religious persecution, but I have since had the luxury of taking a dual credit history course, and those beliefs have been debunked. I like that they're bringing in their personal experiences here. History can be difficult to study as it varies from person to person. If we believe Christopher Columbus when he stated, "I passed from the Canary Islands to the Indies with the fleet," then all other American histories would have been messed up. And I like that they're bringing in text evidence here. This is good. I am a little bit confused as to what you mean by all other American histories would have been messed up. Try to be a little bit more specific there. I think I kind of understand what's happening, but make sure that you're bringing more clarity to your reader. Therefore, the idea that Native Americans weren't as helpless as some textbooks portray them doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't shock me that the Virginia Company simply wanted money. However, the one thing that has remained constant in my understanding of Native American history is the part religion played, which is really good. So bringing up the big part of religion. Everyone, including Native Americans, seemed to be religious. It's visible in Christopher Columbus's letter of discovery in the very first line when he says, "I know that you will be pleased at the great victory with which our Lord has crowned my voyage." This shows how openly religious people were. The concept of God was accepted to the point all credit would go to God. Although not everyone practiced Christianity, the Native Americans developed their own religion. And I like this, that we're squaring religion as kind of the primary mode of communication here. This is really good. And now we're getting specific to the text as well. In the Navajo creation story, there's a constant mention of a holy world and holy people as it tells the miraculous tale of how the Navajos came to be. It seems that everyone wanted to believe in a mysterious God and live a life in correspondence to that God or spirit. Their beliefs would lead them to have their understanding of good and evil, nature, and ultimately how they would govern their lives. I found this literary age intriguing. Good, so that's one thing that you're doing, is responding to literary age, as it is always interesting to learn about other people's beliefs. That right there is a pretty vague statement. Interesting to learn about other people's beliefs. Be specific about what you mean here and what it was that was intriguing to you, whether that was the similar types of religious beliefs that the Native Americans had or how it was different. Be specific than just saying it is intriguing, because you could say that about literally anything. Be specific. I believe this age is very crucial to the United States we have now. It is relevant today that people base their ideas of government or life in general on what they believe, whether it is in support of an existing God or no God. This perhaps is why people continue to believe America was founded on the pursuit of religious freedom, because of how much people's beliefs continue to change the government today. Good. I like this, that you're connecting it toward our culture that we have today. What I would do is I would give specific examples. Especially lately in the news, there's been lots of rulings in the Supreme Court as it relates to what some people deem to be religious freedoms. So I like the point that you're creating here when you're talking about the religious element in both the colonists as well as the Native Americans. So good. I would maybe tease out a little bit more of the Native American life and voice here. to kind of fill this out a bit. There was some more text that was going on. Help me to understand more so about what's going on with their lives and mentality other than just religion. But overall, this is a really good response. It responds to the prompt well. There's lots of text evidence. I'm sure you all noticed that. I highlighted most of the text evidence. It was really good. The student definitely weaves in a lot of quotes from the actual writers, and make sure that you're doing that as well. Okay, so this is an example of a good response, and then I will, in future midweek check-ins, show you good responses to comments too. But make sure that when you're commenting, you have a deep understanding of what the student is arguing. So this student is primarily arguing about the presence of religion in the lives of Native Americans as well as the colonists. So don't just pick out a sentence and be like, oh, I agree when you said it reinforced my perception of Native American history and colonization. Me too. That's like a non-statement, right? I want you to respond to their ideas. Look at their writing as a whole. This student is talking about religion. Respond to those ideas about religion. Don't just respond to one sentence that they have. Actually read what they've written and engage with what they've written. Okay? Don't just read through and skim and find one sentence that you can write. This is generally how most comments go. Students will look through and be like, oh, I agree. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Dear Billy, when you said this didn't change your idea, I thought, me too. So crazy. I learned that in high school. It's amazing how we learn these things multiple times. Isn't that interesting? Like when you said, that's interesting. Me too. Good job, Billy. And ultimately, you've said absolutely nothing. You're just trying to get the grade, right? So demonstrate to me that you're actually reflecting on what your peers are saying, okay? Now, in a link with this email, I've got like a little sound clip of one of my favorite poets reading one of my favorite poems. Generally, in midweek check-ins, I try to offer some sense of encouragement and comfort, especially in these wild and bananas times. So give that a shot. Just take a moment and listen to it and see if you can connect with something a little bit greater than a silly little English course. It's not silly, but I understand that you all have lives. Things are going on and things are crazy right now. Okay? So I hope that this midweek check-in and this demonstration helps you a little bit. You all are awesome, awesome humans. And make sure that you submit your discussion board and comments by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. And I will send out another video for week 2 on Monday. All right, y'all have a good one.